Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you back. If you notice, Andy's with me today. We'll try and make him a little more regular on the channel. At least that is one of our hopes, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
You gotta stay regular.
As you noticed, I'm sure by now, from the title of the video, today we were just going to talk about why there was such a pause in our video. So we're just going to cover what we've been up to, where have we been, what have we been doing, what's been going on, and what's coming up. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Sounds good.
So I think the first thing that we will talk about is some things you might have noticed in the videos that we've put up recently. Our garden's a lot smaller. We didn't do spring chickens, meat chickens I should say. We didn't do spring meat chickens. We didn't add laying chickens to our flock like we thought we would, and we talked about doing. We greatly reduced the number of layers.
We greatly reduced the number of layers.
And we don't have our big mobile coop that Andy worked so hard on last year. And I think those are probably the biggest things you guys have noticed outside of our videos.
Maybe you didn't notice those things because you didn't see it in the video. But
Well, I've kind of brought it up in a couple.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's some things you may have noticed outside of not so many videos being posted. But I would say probably around Christmas time that we just felt very unsettled in a lot of ways, and we were just in a phase of discernment to figure out, well, what does this mean? What's going on? Is it our job? Is it what we're doing? Is it where we live? What exactly is it?
So I think that's really what this year has been about for us. We
Yeah.
call it a refocus kind of year.
Right.
In previous years, we'd been very involved in lots of things here with our church and our local community. And I think all of the weight of that and all of the different things we were trying to do with the homestead here and my job and her job at the time and then now homeschooling and all of these other things got to be too many things all at once. And so we were recognizing that we needed to refocus. And that was contributing to a lot of the unsettled feeling.
Unsettled, yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of going along with all of that discernment, towards the end of February, an opportunity kind of presented itself, if you will. So we looked into it and we applied for this opportunity, and in a matter of 2-3 weeks and the whole application process and phone interviews, we drove to Louisiana.
Yeah. So basically we were discerning whether or not missions was something that we were called to as a family. And I had been kind of looking into family, mission opportunities. And a lot of families will just take, like one-time trips and things like that, where they'll
Like
go
short-term
they'll go
trips,
serve
1 week, 1 month.
for a week or a month or something like that in a country through a mission organization. And I guess we were looking at it in more of a life
Full-time, more
yeah.
long-term
Yeah.
commitment.
So we found a missions company. So that was on a whim. I think we just kind of quickly decided, you know what,
Within a 2-3 week period.
If this is something that we should do, then we need to at least look into it.
And they offer something
Figure it
called
out.
a come and see weekend. So you go down there, you meet with missionaries, you meet with their directors and some of the missionaries who live on their home base, and you get to experience for a weekend and find out more information. So basically that's what we did. And we drove.
It was a
with,
pilgrimage.
and all 4 of us went. And it was an absolutely beautiful experience.
Yeah.
And when we got home, we continued to pray about it.
Yeah, we met some amazing people down there.
Awesome people.
People who had went through with it, literally sold everything, gave up everything that they had worked for in their lives, all their material possessions, and only just packed their bags enough for them to, have what they need on a day-to-day basis, and committed themselves to that. And we had the opportunity while we were down there to really hear their stories, um, hear them talk about that change in their life, but then also the mission work that they'd been doing and how much it had changed their life. And I think we got really, just in that 1 week, we got really immersed in that. And we had opportunities to do some small, mission type activities while we were down there, and just get to know some couples and families. And it was a perfect opportunity for us to really discern whether or not we were called to do that.
So, from that experience, we returned home and continued our discernment process. Now, we ultimately had decided that this is what we felt we were called to do, was the full-time international mission work. So we literally started the process of selling everything. We had garage sales. We sold
the mobile chicken
coop, several chicken tractors, most of our chicken supplies, most of our chickens.
Got rid of most of our flock, yeah.
A lot of kind of fluff material possessions. We downsized our closets, our clothing closets, quite a bit, and just kitchen items and canning supplies and caring for, the outside animals. We just started to downsize a lot.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of things were falling into place. So it did seem like, we were in the right direction for a little while.
And we were on the edge of getting our property ready to sell, because we were going this fall.
We
would have been heading to Louisiana 2 weeks from this weekend, so today is September 1st. 2 weeks from today to start the intake formation process, to then in February go to our post internationally, wherever it would be. It ended up being that we found someone a family member lined up to rent the property and caretake of it, because we didn't really want to sell it, and all of these things were lining up. And we didn't film videos, we weren't putting anything out there, because we were still planning on doing a garden, but enough for us to eat stuff off of throughout the summer and before we left, and then for the family member to
reap some benefits
to get the benefits from while we were gone. Enough chickens for the family members to caretake of, and also get benefits of the eggs from while we were gone. So everything was just lining up. And then all of a sudden it hit us like a ton of bricks. That's not what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Part of the discernment process is getting counseling from other people, especially priests. So we
sought the counsel of four
main priests in our lives that have been a big part of our lives. One in particular who has been a huge part of our coming back into the faith, when we sort of had our coming to Jesus moment in our relationship.
Yep.
And that those priests became people that we really looked to for advice and counsel. And it's interesting because you get a diverse set of opinions and counsel there as well. So it really helps you get a second opinion. Helps you sort through your thoughts and your emotions and all of those things that go along with it, so that you can really make a good objective decision, but also a decision that's formed by your faith and through the faith of others who are looking out for your best interests.
So from that moment that it just hit us that that's not what we're supposed to be doing, we just stepped back. We calmed down and just went to like reset mode.
Yeah, the
Like,
calling
let's
to
just, we've been heavy in this discernment phase for, it was, the heaviest part was 4 to 6 months. But it had started 4 to 6 months before that.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're coming up on, at that point, almost a year. And it was just a step back. We were finishing this, at that point, we started to finish the school year. We started to get into gardening and just enjoying family time and focusing there. And we didn't film videos during any of that time because we literally didn't know what to say. We had a hard time even communicating a lot of this with our family at the time, because how do you say, yeah, I'm going on to do full-time international mission work, and then all of a sudden one day, nope, we're not. And it was our anniversary weekend that we decided, it was at the end of May, our anniversary weekend, that it just hit us. That's not what I'm asking you to do.
In general, the calling was let go of things, and really we've come to realize now that meant simplify. You know, let go a lot of the distractions and the busyness in your life that's taking you away from the things that are most important, the things that that God has given us to care for, and that is first and foremost our marriage, but also our children.
Right.
And that's our first vocation, as we would call it in our faith. And so this has gotten us to the point now where we're really focused again on, you know, the homestead and our marriage and our kids, and really simplifying, taking ourselves out of some of those other activities that take up our time, that busy us and worry us and stress us out, and really refocusing on what's most important, and that's creating an environment and a place for our family to grow and be, you know, nourished as best as possible.
So after our realization, a few weeks later, we went on family vacation. So we live in southern Minnesota, and Minnesota's the land of 10,000 lakes, right? Northern Minnesota is where most of us in like the lower half of the state go to get away during like summer and fall.
We call it going up north.
We call it going up north.
Or up north, you know.
We stay in cabins, we fish, we eat lots of food, we enjoy company, we have bonfires, the kids play. Like it's
hard to have the bonfires with all the mosquitoes, but you know, you try to have bonfires.
I mean, that is our state bird almost, is a mosquito. So we enjoyed that. So that was for a week. We get home from that. Then there's 4th of July. We celebrated my birthday, and a few days after my birthday, we flew to Houston.
Yeah, so this is part of the reason too why we decided to scale back on a lot of our homestead things, is because the discernment, but also we had these trips and a lot of travel.
A very busy summer.
Already planned.
Very busy summer.
For the summer, knowing that.
And all of this stuff had, so just to put it in perspective, family vacation in June was booked. The entire family, everyone who's going, was booked it a year in advance. This next trip that we're talking about, we flew to Houston for a Teams of Our Lady marriage conference. It's the national conference, and we were asked to give our personal marriage testimony. So we flew down there with our kids. We were gifted the airline tickets to go, and we were there for 5-6 days. We get home from that, we celebrate our oldest daughter's birthday, and then a few days after that, we go to Jamaica for a week, just the two of us.
And Jamaica also was a trip we planned ahead.
And Jamaica was also a trip we had planned.
It's been six years really since Allie and I have had a kind of of a bonding, vacation where it's just us two.
Right.
So we saw it as an opportunity to kind of take some time away together to reframe and
Rekindle that fire.
and to really kind of determine where we go from
here.
from here.
As parents, as husband and wife, as a family, and it really fulfilled just that. So all of these trips for this summer were kind of planned. Most of them were almost 10-12 months in advance. Okay, so now we are resetting. We have been refreshed. We have refocused. Ready, set, go time. So now our focus and moving forward, our goals are rebuilding the homestead. Obviously, finishing out the garden this year for what it is. If the deer would stop eating all of our stuff.
I think the first part of it is really we've had a big project trying to update our house, and that's kind of step one for our homestead, because we've been putting a lot of that work off to do homestead stuff. And I've been putting a lot of work into building, chicken tractors and all that kind of stuff, which is good, but it's really taken away from us being able to finish the house.
Now that we've lived in the house for 6.5 years, or no, 5.5 years, it's okay, well, let's get the basement done, especially since we're homeschooling and we've added another member to our family. I'm just clarifying that's the second child that we have. That space is really, really key for our home, just for our kids to be able to go down there and play, or for entertaining when we have people over, because our house is only roughly 900 square feet foundation size. Eventually we'll get to doing some more updating, but right now it's just finally finishing that basement.
Then part of that's going to be planning that homestead and growing the homestead, doing more videos, planning more videos to get more regular on our posting and that kind of stuff, writing more about our homestead and gardening and the things that we love to do out here,
and just sharing that with you guys.
Look forward to more coming out of us in the future.
And they won't all be videos like this. They'll be our normal.
We try to stay away from the talking heads video, but we'll make sure to sprinkle in some fun things to look at. We hope the kittens at least kept you entertained a little bit. I mean, they're pretty good at that. Sometimes I lose 30 minutes in a day just watching the cats tackle each other. So
we hope that you enjoyed this video.
And on that note,
if you aren't subscribed, make sure that you do that, because we have lots of fun videos coming up.
And let us know what you'd like to see.
We have a lot of fun videos coming up, a lot of fun ideas. So
we can also
stick around.
Stick around.
And if you have any ideas, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Thanks for coming to hang out with us today, guys.
Have a good one.
We'll see you next time. Bye.